Well, we've made it to August, and the book of Deuteronomy, the book of Devarim, which means we are now in the fifth and final of the 5 books of Moses, and heading towards the end of our annual Torah cycle, because as we approach the end of Devarim, we will have passed through the High Holy Days and Simchat Torah, and be headed into a new Jewish year. Devarim, also known in English as Deuteronomy, from the rabbinic term for the book, Mishneh Torah, the changing or the repetition of the Torah, or Deuteronomy, a second law, is a different book than the other 4 of the 5 books of Moses. This book talks about the place, with a capital the, where God will be worshipped, which we presume to mean Jerusalem. It presumes a single temple where the sacrifices would be made. It also is the opportunity for Moses to recount in several farewell addresses his career in Egypt, his career leading the people of Israel, and that, of course, ultimately his death at Mount Nebo, right before his charges, the people of Israel, enter into the land of Israel. Deuteronomy is significant in that it tells the stories in a sometimes different way than they are originally recounted in the first 4 books of the Chumash, and it also represents changes, literal changes in the laws by which our ancestors were living. Deuteronomy comes to tell us that even in the Torah, even within the 5 books of the Torah, as time goes by, our perception of things changes. Sometimes they become less accurate, but sometimes our perception becomes more accurate, and we come to understand our situations better than we did before. But it also represents adjustments, amendments to the laws that were first pronounced at Mount Sinai about 38, 39 years earlier in the story. And that also teaches us that as Jews, as the descendants of those wanderers in the wilderness, our traditions, our halakha, our laws, and our practices are also dynamic and changing. We tend to have this snapshot of the Bible saying it's all the same and that the picture is static. But the picture is not static. It was not static for our ancestors in the wilderness. It was not static for Moses as he gave these talks to his people, and it is not static today. As a liberal community, we are committed to the principles and the kernels of our faith and our morals, but at the same time, we understand that there is change that is both necessary and possible. Shabbat Shalom.